Welcome to Jharna, the Desert Museum of Rajasthan. Today, our guide Rimjim will virtually provide you the information of this village. Typically named Museum Jharna is built on the Thar Desert in Rajasthan. This museum upholds different huts through which we can understand the history of this place. The history of ancient Rajasthan. Jharna has many collections of brooms, instruments, puppetry, and pottery. The Desert Museum of Rajasthan reimagines what a museum can be. It moves beyond walls, labels, and glass cases into the open landscapes, everyday lives, and ecological rhymes of the Thar. This is a museum that breathes with its surroundings. A local guide can rudely instruct you about the different happenings in Jharna. At its heart, Jharna believes that the ordinary is extraordinary. Everyday objects, from a broom to a pot, become pathways to understand how people think, make, and sustain. These are not artifacts frozen in time, they are living connections between ecology, labor, and creativity. Here, knowledge does not belong to the archives alone. It lives in the voices of artisans, musicians, herders, and storytellers who continue to shape Rajasthan's cultural landscape. Their wisdom, passed down through generations, reminds us that tradition is not static. It evolves, responds, and renews itself with each telling. The museum's founder, Komal Kothari, envisioned it as a laboratory of the ordinary. Now it's time we should really be specific upon things. We will first talk about brooms, an everyday object that reveals extraordinary connections between people, landscapes, and traditional knowledge. Quite modest and often unnoticed, the broom is a familiar presence in every household. It is not something one would expect to be in a museum, yet it represents us an entire world of knowledge, resourcefulness, and human connection to nature. At Jharna, the Desert Museum of Rajasthan, the broom becomes more than a cleaning tool. It becomes a symbol of craftsmanship, ecology, and community life in the desert. For us, it is only no ordinary. We use any broom that is available in our household to help in the cleaning. But in Rajasthan, it is not true. Each broom tells a story of local materials, ingenious design, and the rhymes of daily life. Rooms can be of two spaces, in inner spaces and outer spaces. Indoor rooms are called as Bauri or Havari in local languages. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrongly. They are made from tender grasses such as pani, dab, and khas. Used for cleaning clay, stone, or plastered floors, these brooms are treated with care and are never used in courtyards or cattle sheds. They are often associated with Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. In many houses, they are kept carefully under the court, handled with respect, and never stepped over. The making of these brooms follows ritual rhymes, with certain days considered auspicious, while others, such as Amavasya, no moon day, are avoided. Such stories indeed can raise your blood and curiosity for knowing others. The outdoor brooms are known as Bauro, Baro, or Havarno. They are coarser and made by hand. They are used in open courtyards, shrines, cattle sheds, and public spaces. Now it's time to jump to the specific point of folk musical instruments, a visual journey through the soundscape of Rajasthan. Instruments that once carried songs of work, devotion, and celebration across the desert. Folk Jharna's musical instruments collection preserves the material traces of Rajasthan's sound traditions, like the instruments themselves, the craftsmen who made them, and the recordings that keep their music alive. The gallery is part object study, part archive lab, and part invitation to listen. Our next hopping spot is pottery, clay as culture, vessels shaped by the desert's rhyme, holding within them stories of utility, craftsmanship, and continuity. Pottery of Jharna explores how the desert soil becomes part of everyday life. As we were stepping in different huts, we were hearing the stories of different things in Jharna. The guide was explaining us about this box that depicts the various auspicious things of Jharna in Rajasthan, like the brooms and the gods. In a singular box, you can get all you want. If I continue the story of pottery in Arna Jharna, you would get to know that for generations, Kobar, that is a potter, families have practiced this craft, passing down methods and songs tied to the rhymes of work. Their knowledge extends far beyond shaping clay. It includes understanding of soil types, the behavior of fire, the timing of drying, and the seasonal patterns that affect their practice. In the desert where water is scarce, clay work demands precision and care. Potters balance availability of materials with need, shaping vessels that keep water cool, grain dry, and homes functional. Each form evolves from practical experience and an understanding of that environment. At Arna Jharna, pottery is not displayed, it is demonstrated and experienced. Visiting artisans conduct live sessions where visitors can watch or participate in wheel throwing, hand modeling, and surface finishing. With prior notice, schools, groups, and researchers can arrange guided workshops to learn about clay selection, shaping, drying, and firing. These sessions emphasize both the technical skill and the ecological awareness that define traditional pottery. At last, we should not leave this episode by not ending this with the last aspect, that is about puppetry, where storytellers meet craft, traditional puppets that reflect the imagination, humor, and wisdom of desert life. Puppetry in Rajasthan is one of the most oldest and most expressive forms of storytelling. At Arna Jharna, the Desert Museum of Rajasthan, the puppetry collection represents this living tradition through puppets, stage materials, and narratives that continue the travel across the desert's village and towns. We also saw a 200-year-old lady puppet who was made 200 years ago. I loved Arna Jharna. It is a place of peace. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. Please like, share, and subscribe.